Well, for once, President Donald Trump does something good. And, of course, he has this logo here. And obviously, there are a lot of things, obviously, I'm really worried about with him. But he did some good today by getting rid of congestion pricing, the congestion tax that's going on in New York right now, that Hochul is vowing to fight. This, of course, we're going to watch some stories on this. But honestly, I actually am very pleased with this. And this was long overdue. And I want to first go and tell you and go read the statement from Governor Phil Murphy. And this is why I like Governor Phil Murphy. He's not a limousine liberal. He's a centrist. And that's the kind of governor we need in New York. Statement by Governor Phil Murphy on the Federal Highway Administration's decision to rescind value pricing pilot program agreement authorizing New York's congestion pricing program. I want to thank President Trump and Secretary Duffy for their efforts to halt the current congestion pricing program in Manhattan's Central Business District. While I have consistently expressed openness to a form of congestion pricing that meaningfully protects the environment and does not unfairly burden hardworking New Jersey commuters, the current program lines the MTA's pockets at the expense of New Jerseyans. Although we have had a difference of opinion with our colleagues in New York on congestion pricing, we have always had a productive relationship with our neighbors across the Hudson, and I look forward to continuing that spirit of partnership for the benefit of the entire tri-state area. So, the current congestion pricing plan, we know, is a disaster. It unfairly targeted New Jerseyans. It also punishes people who have to drive. There are people in the trades that can't take public transportation. They have gear that they have to carry, whether that be elevator mechanics, and there's a lot of elevator maintainers. They can't afford to live in New York City, and they have to drive there. They have to pay the fee. Delivery trucks. Firemen, people work in the trades. They can't take the train. They can't carry all their gear on transit. So, and many of them are middle class. This is congestion pricing was an attack on the middle class. Clear and simple. All right? So, let's play some of the stories here on this. So, from Channel 7 here. And, of course, Hochul will be there.
We're going to begin with congestion pricing, and what a day.
Hochul is vowing to fight. You know, Hochul is putting so much of her energy into this. Instead of making New York a safe place to live, she'd rather fight this. So we're going to play this story here, and, you know, I'm going to be calling out Kathy Hochul and Janno Lieber in this video quite extensively. So let's play this
shortly after 12:30 this afternoon, the Department of Transportation, the Federal Department of Transportation, sent a letter saying the Trump administration was, we're quoting now, terminating the approval of New York's congestion pricing toll.
A short time later, President Trump went on social media calling himself the King of New York.
I don't think that was
within
a wise
the last hour,
comment.
this fiery response
talks.
from Governor Hochul.
New York hasn't labored under a king in over 250 years. We sure as hell are not going to start now.
Well, she loves her congestion. Look how mad she is.
Where do we stand right now? For one,
because this is the congestion pricing was part of her plan to price us out, and now Trump is trying to stop it. Unfortunately, she's not getting rid of the congestion pricing. She's going to fight it.
The MTA is challenging the Trump administration's ruling, and the judge will ultimately need to make a final ruling on congestion pricing. And two, the $9 tolls south of 60th Street in Manhattan are still in place.
So she's defying the order, basically.
We have several reports this evening, and unpacking it all, we're going to begin with Eyewitness News reporter Sonia Rincon. She's live in Columbus Circle. Sonia?
Yes, Sandra, the gantries here at 60th and Broadway are still fully operational. Drivers are still paying a toll to the MTA and enjoying lighter traffic for it. President Trump may be declaring congestion pricing is dead, but it
lighter
remains
traffic,
to be
but ask the people uptown how their traffic is. It's worse because everybody's going there. It's just moving the traffic somewhere else.
Whether the federal government can now revoke its approval for it. Governor Hochul is saying this is a state sovereignty issue. The program has undoubtedly thinned out traffic, but the MTA argues the Trump administration's argument for killing it is also pretty thin, and that it will be going to court to protect that revenue stream that it is relying on to fund mass transit.
This is how messed up Hochul is. She's more upset about this than Trump cutting staff at the 9/11, the help at 9/11 first responders. She's more upset about this than about Trump's cutting of programs for citizens. Yeah.
And to get more people to use it.
Feels like the commuters of our city and our region are now the roadkill on Donald Trump's revenge tour against New York.
The letter to Governor Hochul from Transportation
you're
Secretary
the
Sean
worst
Duffy
thing to ever happen to New
acknowledges
York,
that
Kathy
stopping
Hochul.
congestion pricing will cut off some funding for transit, but argues that revenue from tolls is supposed to be for roads and not for transit.
Find another
systems.
way to fund
he
transit.
says drivers paying gas taxes and other taxes
Not on the backs of the middle
are already paying
class.
their share for roads. He's also challenging the physical scope of the tolling system, saying it provides no toll-free option for drivers. The MTA says that's exactly the point. Drivers are paying $9 to enter Manhattan anywhere south of 60th Street in a program that won federal approval under the Biden administration and was upheld in federal courts as 2 lawsuits in 2 states challenged whether the program got enough environmental study.
It didn't.
The Secretary's letter doesn't mention that as a reason to kill the toll.
There was one poll, major poll,
Oh, shut up,
that
Jano.
6 out of 10 voters say President Trump should allow us to keep congestion pricing.
That's a lie, right? Because everybody I know is against it. But here we go with Jano Lieber. He is a classic Wall Street limousine liberal standing next to Kathy Hochul. Those two want to get rid of us. They want to price the middle class out. They want to get the disabled out, the seniors. They only care about their own kind, their own Wall Street hacks.
And interestingly, 7 out of 10 drivers, the people who regularly drive to Manhattan, are saying this is good. This is
you're
a good
full
deal.
of crap.
And they are
You are full of crap.
and keep congestion pricing.
It's a good day for people who are tired of being told and taxed to death by our government.
Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis, who says the MTA treats commuters like ATMs, supports President Trump's reasoning for directing the Federal Highway Administration to do an about-face.
The president has made his decision here. The Secretary of Transportation has rescinded the approval from the Biden administration, and therefore now these cameras are operating illegally as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, they're operating illegally.
This is an attack on our sovereign identity, our independence from Washington. And this is...
Independence from Washington. Yeah, but you're screwing the people in New Jersey, Kathy. You're screwing the middle class. Washington is trying to look out for the middle class. She's so upset about this. What about all the crime in the subway? What about all the people getting hurt and killed by unstable criminals and homeless people? But she doesn't care about that. This governor is unbelievable. She really is. She's more upset about this than about all the crime going on.
We are a nation. We are a nation of states. This is what we fought for.
Yeah, the Secretary's letter did not provide any time frame for ending the program and said that would be the topic of discussion between the Highway Administration. So
unfortunately, New York's going to fight it. They're not. She's still going to have to pay the toll in the meantime. But yeah, this governor, she's the worst governor of the state. I'm telling you, she's just despicable. She's just despicable. I mean. Look at all these. They all represent Wall Street. They don't care about the middle class. They're more concerned about ripping people off. It's all part of the plan to force us out. Enhancing transit. Give me a break. Who's going to take the subway, Kathy? Look at all the crime on the subway. Let's Google all the crime that's gone on the subway lately. Yeah, let's take a look at this here. News. Let's see. There's been a lot of crime. Gunshot wound. No. Here we go. Woman slashed with a box cutter. It's funny, the media is not actually covering a lot of this stuff. There's been a lot of crime on the subway, but the media is not covering it now. So this is kind of interesting. This is getting suppressed. There's been a lot of crime on the subway. I get it. I get it on my Facebook in the feeds, but the media is burying it, I guess. Here we go. Strap hanger, 61, punched, attacked on the New York City subway, random attack. J-train, right in the middle of the day. This is what goes on. This is what goes on. All right, look at this thing. It's all in your head and white people. The media is trying to really... The media in New York obviously is beholden to Kathy Hochul. It's unbelievable. It really is. They want to suppress all the crime going on in the subway. It's bad. It's really, really bad. But she's more upset about this than the subway crime. Or all the disabled people that are being forced out. Oh, what about that Woodbury nursing home closing? Yeah, that's closing. Yep. That's closing. We'll go to the news with that. Yep, closure plan for Cold Spring Hills. Judge greenlights ailing nursing home closure. Yeah, she's not upset about that, though, right? She's not upset about that. She's upset about this because it affects her plan to force us out. Well, you know what, Kathy Hochul? We fight back. We fight back. You're a limousine liberal looking out for your Wall Street hacks, but we fight back. And I want to thank President Trump for actually doing something about it. And then we got the green light law. This other thing about New York State. Pam Bondi, who's kind of preppy, but she's kind of a good witch in a way. Whereas Kathy Hochul is the wicked witch. Because she's actually announcing a lawsuit against New York for the green light law, which does not comply with federal law, all right? We are giving illegals driver's licenses here in this state. You know, the citizens have to suffer in this state. All the money spent on these freaking illegals could have gone to U.S. citizens, like those people that are being forced out of the nursing home. Bondi said the Justice Department filed a suit against the state. New York State Attorney General Letitia James and Mark Schroeder. So Hochul's being charged. All right? Hochul is being charged. All right? The law allows all New Yorkers over the age 16 to apply for a standard, not for federal purpose, non-commercial driver's license or learner permit. So we're giving driver licenses to illegals. It's regardless of their citizenship. Regardless of their citizenship. So thank you, Pam Bondi, for doing this. And she threatened to have the governor arrested. Oh, please, please, please arrest Hochul. Please. She is the wicked witch of Buffalo, this woman. I'm telling you. The wicked witch of Buffalo. She's the reason why Donald Trump won the election. Because she made the whole Democratic Party look bad. This is why the Democratic Party is in trouble, because of people like her. You need more people like Phil Murphy, like Tom Suozzi. And then maybe we wouldn't be having Donald Trump in the White House, and we wouldn't have to worry about fascism and living in a dictatorship. We wouldn't have to worry about any of that stuff. Elon Musk is something that, obviously, I'm really... Doge is making lies. They're saying, I'm really concerned about the cuts that they're making to a lot of federal agencies. That it puts our safety at risk. Doge says Trump and Musk, but their claims are debunked. And look, Elon Musk is a Nazi. He's a fascist. He wants to have total control. He's like Dr. Evil, all right? I really wish Trump would just get rid of him. Because, especially the Nazi salute and everything, as somebody who's Jewish, and I have a lot of friends who are Jewish, that's just not acceptable at all. And there's just so much proof going on, all right? So Doge is making a lot of lies, spreading a lot of stuff. And I'm all for cutting government waste. Definitely. But Musk was not elected to any position. And now White House is claiming that he's not part of Doge. So now it looks like Trump is trying to distance himself now from... You got to get rid of Elon, man. He's no good, man. All right? That's the bottom line. Now it's weighing a Doge dividend to send Americans checks. And there's another thing that I get mixed stories about now. FEMA funding to New York City to assist illegals. All right, this is from FEMA. All right, now this Doge claims that this was, if this is true, it's an outrage because FEMA's only supposed to help citizens. But it says, according to this article, it was misrepresented. Elon Musk posted on Monday, this is an old article on X, that the so-called Doge uncovered millions of dollars being spent illegally by FEMA to house migrants in New York City. It was meant for American disaster relief and were only spent on high-end hotels. But the post misrepresents the funding. All right, claim FEMA sent $59 million last week to luxury hotels in New York City to house illegal migrants. Sending this money violated the law and is insubordination to the president's executive order. The facts: FEMA does not send money directly to New York hotels. It does administer money on behalf of U.S. Customs and Border Protection authorized by Congress in the 2023 for Shelter and Services Program. It was created to support local governments, but it's still going to support non-citizens. And that, no, it's still, Elon still found something there, all right? This article is kind of trying to say otherwise. But look, there's nothing, FEMA should not be funding illegals, period. You know what, illegals? They deserve nothing but a return trip back to where they came from. All right? You know the way I feel about it. It's one thing I agree with Donald Trump on. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing any less of them in my neighborhood or in my life so far. The trash, all that stuff, the loitering, that's still going on in my neighborhood. You want to come to the country as an immigrant, I'm in all favor of legal immigration, but you can't just hop across the border and expect to be given a hotel room, food, and all that other stuff. Doesn't work that way, all right? There are plenty of citizens out there that are suffering. We need to take care of them first. This is, again, why we have Donald Trump as our president, because the Democrats care too much about illegals than citizens. This is why. The Democratic Party's... I don't want to live in a fascist country. I don't want to live in a dictatorship. But the reason why we are here is because of the Democrats helping illegal aliens. And then you have people like Kathy Hochul out there so upset about congestion pricing. She's so upset about it. Meanwhile, we have nursing homes closing. We have mental health programs that are suffering. All right? And she's not doing anything about that. She's more upset about congestion pricing. Pam Bondi, please, let's have this witch arrested. I mean, she's now been told that she's got to stop congestion pricing. She's defying it. She's helping illegals while citizens are suffering. It's time for this governor to go. It's time for her to go. This is not a Republican or Democratic issue. This is an American issue. We have a governor that's actually aiding and abetting criminals that are here illegally, giving them funds, giving them driver's licenses. This is wrong. She is breaking the law. You're aiding and abetting criminals. When they snuck into the country, they're criminals. What about all the crime going on that they bring? Let's talk about that. I'm going to pause this for just a moment. See, this is the stuff that you don't see on the news. Creedmoor, shots fired. Migrant shelter. There was a raid from the federal. All right, good. Thank God. But this is what they do. There's been Belrose, Glen Oaks. There's been a lot of crime that they bring. The moped crime. This is all the stuff they bring. Stolen autos. They give gangs. There's nothing good these illegals bring to the table. They're all bad. You jump the fence. Yeah, maybe not all of them are bad, but most of them are. Let's be honest. And then you have Eric Adams, who needs to step down. It's a disaster. He's a disaster. Look at all shootings, all this crime going on here. This doesn't get covered. So much crime going on. Police activity, Hillside Avenue, Hollis. This doesn't make the news. This doesn't make the news. So, and then we had what happened in Central Islip. Evidence points to murder. There was a murder in Central Islip, right by the train station. Could have been illegals. The body was discovered 12:30 Tuesday. That was yesterday. A homeless encampment right by the train station, East Suffolk Avenue and Carlton Avenue. This is the lawlessness we have in Kathy Hochul's New York. It's unbelievable. And I just want to, lastly, they actually had an interview of George Pataki up close. This is an interview here. They actually interviewed George Pataki. This is the whole thing. Let's see. I think they first... Let's see. I don't know if they first interviewed George. Here. No, that's the other guy. I want to see George Pataki. All right. This is the interview.
I think it's over 400
Now, honestly, I miss George Pataki.
Generators, small-scale generators.
Those were the good days in New York, man. That when he was governor, those were the good days. The MTA was doing great. The city was safe. The economy was great. We miss you, George Pataki. I wish he would run for governor again, but I think he just wants to retire at this point. He doesn't. I understand, but I really wish he would come back because those were the good days in New York. That was really the last really good governor we had. He did a lot for the environment and the Pine Barrens too. Those were really the good times. And there are. This isn't, like I said. This is people. I share a lot of stuff from liberal, left-leaning channels, obviously. But it doesn't mean I agree with them on everything. I'm a centrist. I'm an independent. Obviously, I'm upset about fascism with Trump. He's said a lot of things that just are completely far out. And Elon Musk, I'm really worried about that, too, as well. I mean, I think Elon should be deported, all right? But the fact is that we need a new direction in this country. The people were fed up with that. That's why they didn't vote for a Democrat. And we do need to stop Donald Trump from violating the law, for sure. He's the president. He's not a dictator, all right? Elon Musk should not be in this country. But at the same time, we have to enforce law and order in this country. And when you look at New York is a disaster right now because of people like Kathy Hochul. And she once again showed herself today to be a wicked witch that's out to force us out. Nobody likes congestion pricing, Kathy. She thinks it's great. It's great for the who? You, the rich, the Wall Street people, right? Because they can afford to pay the fee. And they love it because, hey, they can force out the blue-collar people out of New York. But who's going to fix the elevators, Kathy? Who's going to fight the fires, Kathy? Who's going to build things? Who's going to work in New York when you've priced everyone out? So, that's all I'm going to say here in this video. Again, Kathy Hochul, I think she needs to be primaried out. If the Democrats pick her again to run for governor, I will vote for the Republican candidate. I did it the last time, and I'll do it again. So, that's all. Thank you for watching. Take care.